When silence stops working, silence used to feel like survival, like wisdom, like restraint, like something our elders taught us to carry the way you carry glass, carefully, quietly, so nothing shatters in your hands. We were taught that silence was maturity, that reacting was weakness, that stillness meant strength. But nobody warned us that silence has a shelf life, because silence doesn't just sit there. It listens, it learns, it adapts. And at some point, silence stops protecting you and starts protecting what's hurting you. We stayed quiet when the language changed first, when words like policy replaced people, when procedure replaced pain. We told ourselves, this isn't my fight. This doesn't affect me. This will pass. But harm doesn't pass. It spreads. It spreads because silence makes room. Silence watched laws crawl into bodies that didn't belong to legislators. Silence sat politely while children learned how to identify fear before they learned multiplication. Silence nodded along while uniforms gained permission and accountability lost its name. And every time we swallowed our discomfort, power swallowed another inch. They said, stay calm, but calm never stopped violence. They said, don't make it worse, but worse kept happening without our participation. They said, be respectful, as if respect has ever been returned to the oppressed without demand. Silence became tradition. Tradition became justification. Justification became policy. And suddenly, silence wasn't neutral anymore, because neutrality in the face of harm is alignment. There is no quiet middle between cruelty and consequence. You don't have to raise your voice to take a side. You just have to stay silent long enough for someone else's pain to become background noise. Silence told us this wasn't our responsibility, but responsibility doesn't ask permission. It shows up when you witness something you can't unknow, because once you see it, you are accountable for what you do with that scene. Silence fails when it starts asking the harm to endure quietly, so the comfortable don't have to feel disturbed. Silence fails when peace is prioritized over people. Silence fails when order matters more than justice. And silence absolutely fails when truth is bleeding and you decide not to look because it's inconvenient. We didn't get louder because we wanted attention. We got louder because silence stopped working, because the cost of quiet became higher than the risk of speaking. Because there comes a moment when you realize your calm is being weaponized against you, that your composure is being used as proof that everything must be fine, that your patience is being mistaken for permission. This isn't rage. This is clarity. This isn't chaos. This is record. This is what happens when silence loses its authority, when quiet stops being wisdom and starts being erasure. This is the moment we stop confusing politeness with justice. This is the moment we understand that witnesses don't need microphones. They need memory. And we remember. This is not noise. This is what remains when silence no longer works.